Welcome to Sparked, a journey of soul and spirit. I'm Niccy, medium, soul guider, and your spiritual cheerleader. This podcast is your space to reconnect with the spark within, explore the unseen world, and deepen your trust in your own soul's wisdom. Each episode, I'll walk beside you through stories of spirit, lessons from lived experience, and heart-to-heart guidance to support your path of awakening. Whether you're navigating your gifts, healing your heart, or just curious about the magic of it all, you are so welcome here. Because your soul's journey is a spark that matters, and you don't have to walk it alone. Let's get sparked. Hello. Welcome to part 2 or episode 2 of my mini-series on all things spiritual hygiene. So last week I covered all things about grounding our energy, feeling safe, feeling anchored. And now we are delving into protection, protecting our energy, protecting us. So, are you excited to get into it? Because I am. This is an episode where we're going to be talking about feeling more safe in our bodies, feeling like as if we own our power. And that is goddamn exciting because it's exciting to me. This is something in which, for a long time, doing the inner work, for a long time, I didn't feel safe. I didn't realize until I really had to go into this work and into finding and creating myself and forever expanding, I did feel safe. There was a feeling of not feeling me in my body. And so this is why we start with grounding, because we need to feel anchored. We need to feel like we're nice and steady. And then we go into protecting that energy, protecting what we are anchoring, protecting what we are, feeling steady with. So you can tell I'm already quite passionate about it because I'm just, it's just something in which I hopefully don't want you to skip this episode when it comes to all things spiritual hygiene, because this is something that is very, very essential. Protecting our energy is such a beautiful act of self-love. It really is. It isn't about living in our fear or thinking of the world is out to get us. This is something in which we are creating a safe space. We are creating something in which our energy has to stay with us, and it should stay with us. It's about safeguarding yourself from the sticky, icky, negative energy that can be swirling and whirling around us, and not just around us but inside our heads too. So just old stories and old doubts and things can kind of stay within us as well. When you protect your energy, you're basically saying, I honor my boundaries, I honor my light, and I choose what comes into my space. So again, it is about choosing what comes into your space. When we're protected, we feel like we're truly owning our power. We're owning our space. None of it is seeping away or being drained. We feel strong and we feel like we're really in our bodies. So that is something in which when we're feeling drained, when we feel like that our energy is at 1%, our battery life is at 1%, after a full days of work and you're feeling like you cannot give it all at all because you are feeling like as if you've got everybody's problems and situations and all of the things on top of your shoulders. You don't need them there because you've got your own. And so the thing is that I really want you to feel like you're getting the hang of grounding and protecting, because these two really go hand in hand. And once you're grounded and anchored in your energy, you can then build your protective shield from the strong foundation. We don't want you to be feeling like it comes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you are just feeling like as if you just want to curl up into a ball and just go to sleep. We want you to feel protected. We want you to feel really strong. So safe and strong. This is something in which we need to be thinking about just our I don't want to call them problems, but just about our lives and our priorities. That's a better word, our priorities. Instead of getting everybody else's priorities and stories and all the things all on our shoulders, we do not want that for ourselves. Unfortunately, not everybody has the same intention when they wake up in the morning. Unfortunately, not everybody wakes up with wanting to feel gratitude and wanting what is best for their day and to really focus on what they should be focusing on. And that is where, those people, their energy can be brought into environments, into spaces in which then you're feeling drained and you're feeling not yourself. And it's because of this, their energy is seeping into yours, your power. So their power is seeping into yours and it's getting all muddy and it's getting all yucky. All right. I do want to talk about a situation in which I've had to protect myself. This is a very recent situation in which your girl had to go to the dentist yesterday. And really, I probably shouldn't even be recording this podcast right now because I do still need to rest. I need to rest my jaw. I need to rest. I need to rest. And here I am recording because I promised you all that so I'm like, okay, at least let me do cast episode and then I can go rest. But your girl had to go to the dentist, and I'm sure you all listening right now probably don't have the best stories about the dentist or the best experiences about the dentist, and really they are there to help us, and it is all about that oral hygiene. And so I had to call to get an emergency dentist appointment, and thankfully I did. Yesterday morning, I got to go in, and my doubts came in, of course, and I just focused on the negative. I just focused on how uncomfortable and how intrusive the going to the dentist is, and it's not the best feeling. I'm sure that throughout your day, you do not have going into a dental clinic as your number one priority or something you wish to do. And shout out to all the oral hygienists, all of the dentist assistants that actually do go most days to a dental clinic. Really big kudos to you guys. But I'm sure those of you listening would be thinking of not going to the dentist, or it's far from. So what I had to do was ground my energy. So I knew that I had to do a few little things in the morning, like drop off my son to school, drop off my partner to work, I should say. And then I knew that I had to take time to ground my energy, to anchor in, to feel my feet. What was really beautiful was when I actually went into the dental clinic, into their waiting room, I looked out. It was actually quite a really windy, yucky day yesterday, but I looked out and I could just see a beautiful big tree trunk, and then all these leaves were swinging and swaying around, but I focused on the tree trunk. And I'm like, wow, I want to feel that anchored. I am a tree. I am one with the tree. Yes, I went very hippie, but I really looked at the roots. I really looked at the big, strong trunk of that tree, and I visualized myself as that tree. And so here I am, and all this chaos is around, all these leaves are swirling and whirling, yet this tree, yet me, I am anchored. And so I really honed in and I allowed myself to ground in that way. And so I'm not going to, in that situation, I wasn't going to go put my headphones on and listen to sound frequencies and things, because I was feeling that anxiousness. So I really just allowed myself to use the senses of visual. I used that sense of just looking, and I was able just to look at that tree trunk and allow myself to feel like I am that tree trunk. And it really did help. So that was the way that I grounded myself. And I am sharing this because, again, this can be a practice for you. So when you're feeling super uncomfortable and very anxious and not feeling right about going into somewhere, but you need to, such as medical appointments and dental appointments, check an object that is nice and sturdy. Check an object that is not going to move and you know that it won't move, and really hone in and allow yourself to say, I deserve to feel that anchored. I deserve to feel just as sturdy as that tree or as that pole or as anything that you know, that item in which you're aware that it won't move. Picture yourself as that item. You are grounded like that item. So that is the way that I grounded myself, that beautiful tree. And then I looked at the soil and I'm like, wow, this is Mother Nature. There's so much more to worry about than going into an appointment that's only going to last about probably 30, 40 minutes. So, of course, I understood that my name was going to be called out at any second. I was the only one in the waiting room. But again, I allowed myself that time, and thankfully I was able to ground my energy. Then I turned to words of affirmation, and I know that this won't work for all, but this is something in which it helped me. So I'm telling my story in hopes that potentially this could help you in the next time that you're feeling quite weird and funny about a medical appointment, a dental appointment. And so what I really done was I was able to close my eyes, like kind of even had my head down. You weren't aware that I had to, that I wasn't closed, that I had my eyes closed. And then I honestly just visualized this nice white light and that I am protected. So I done the old famous traditional white light. And then I called on my spirit team, knowing that I am not alone at this time as well. So physically, of course, I knew that I wasn't alone because I was going to be seeing the dentist and the dentist assistant. But knowing that my energy was guarded, was safe within my spirit team. So I was able to call in my spirit team to allow them to understand that I was feeling a little anxious. Of course I was. But then telling my spirit team, I just want that extra bit of healing. I just want that extra bit of groundedness. I want that extra protection in this moment of time. So really calling in them. And I did. I closed my eyes and in my mind, I just said. So I didn't have to say it out loud. You don't have to say it out loud. You can just say, thank you, spirit team, for being with me at this time. Just asking for that extra bit of support, asking for that extra bit of strength, groundedness and protection whilst I go through this appointment. And I did. I felt so safe. I felt like a big cuddle. It was like this warm light of cuddle, and I kept it. And it just felt so much more empowering. So knowing that I'm never alone, again, I know that I am safe. But at times of need, you don't feel that way, or that's kind of diminished from you. So really anchoring yourself and understanding you have your spirit team to call upon, and you can call upon them, and of course giving them thank yous to know that you're not alone. I also called upon my spirit team to also allow me to have this beautiful moment in the dentist's chair. And I know that sounds quite weird, but to allow me to actually have that time or that reflection. And what was really beautiful was when my name was called, I had this really gorgeous dentist with no judgment, and she was really lovely. And I'm like, was she sent by my spirit team? And so everything aligned. Not everything was awful and bad about the experience. If anything, it did allow me to understand that I am stronger. And this is what I really want you to take away. These practices aren't just for big spiritual moments and meditation. They're for everyday life. For dentist appointments, for crowded shops, for tough conversations, for any time you need to feel safe and in your power. Visualization is such a powerful tool for protection. Picture a shield of light surrounding you. It might be golden, light, white, or even a shimmery rainbow, or all. You might imagine yourself inside a bubble, or wearing a cloak of light that wraps around you like a warm, protective hug. In my dentist example, I visualized a strong light wrapping around me like a blanket. So my spirit team feeling like that warmth around me. What was also great is that I looked up and, the lights at the dentist, I visualized that as my protective light as well. If you can feel right, close your eyes and just take a deep breath in and out. Now imagine that protective light surrounding you, growing brighter and stronger with every breath. Notice how calm and secure you feel inside. So that is something that you can take away. That is something that you can use. It's just as simple as creating that beautiful, bright, white light, being surrounded by it, knowing that it goes from head to toe and all around. And it doesn't have to be a bubble. It can feel like a nice blanket. And as I said before, that nice big cloak. You're putting on your wizard cloak, like, and you're imagining yourself just being wrapped around. I even love wearing big cardigans where I can wrap around, and that's just that feeling that you can have when having that sense of having a nice big protective blanket or cloak around you. What another thing also is how you can feel protected is prayer and meditation. And I know that prayer comes across I know that I must have religious trauma from the word prayer, because I just feel like as if it's just praying to the man up above called God. And it's not. I have come to realize that it is much more. And even if you feel uncomfortable saying prayer to start with, you're more than welcome just to say having a chat, having a conversation with those above, having that conversation with Source, having that conversation with your higher self. So just knowing that it doesn't have to be called prayer, you can simply say that you're having an out loud or in your mind's conversation. And with that, again, like the dentist, I called upon my spirit team. So in my mind, I called upon my spirit team. I called upon my guides, my angels, whoever felt right at that time. And you can simply just say, spirit team, I ask you to be with me now. Keep me safe. Hold my energy in love and light. So this doesn't have to be a long or complicated prayer or conversation. You can do it quickly in the car, in the shower, or even quietly in your mind before going. If you're a fan of crystals are an amazing tool for protection. So this is something, if you are drawn to crystals, working with crystals, obsidian is wonderful for absorbing and deflecting negativity. So black tourmaline is like a little energetic bouncer, just thinking of them with big glasses, those aviator glasses and puffed up chest. That is like black tourmaline. Amethyst, which is of course quite popular, that beautiful deep purple color, is beautiful for transmuting energy and creating a calm field. You can also wear jewelry with intention, or maybe it's a necklace or a ring or a small crystal in your pocket, anything that reminds you of your own strength and safety, your own protection. Emotional balance is an important part of protection that we often overlook. So when we're emotionally wobbly, we're feeling yucky, we're more open to energy that isn't ours as well. So checking in with yourself, simply just, how am I feeling today? What do I need to feel safe and strong right now? How do I need to feel safer and stronger right now? And using those affirmations to bring yourself back. I am safe in my body. I trust my energy is protected. I choose to only allow love and light into my space. Even writing it down if you'd like to. Even typing it in your notes on your phone. Protection doesn't have to take ages. It can be a few minutes each day. So in the morning, you can visualize your shield before you get out of bed or as you're getting out of bed. Throughout the day, repeat affirmations or touch your protective crystal whenever you feel off, or whenever you feel as if somebody's energy is seeping into yours. At night, smudge or just do a quick visualization to clear energy before you read the day into your dreams or into that relaxation mode. At the end of the day, protection is about feeling safe in your body, in your emotions, and in your energetic space. We don't protect ourselves because we fear the world. We protect because we love ourselves enough to set boundaries, to honor our light, and to choose what we allow in. We don't have to allow everything in. I really encourage you to experiment with these practices this week. See what feels supportive and right and empowering for you. Just like the grounding rituals, routines that we spoke about last episode, not all of them are going to speak to you, but one or two of them just might. Or you might feel that nudge to be like, all right, this is going to go into my lifestyle now. And I would love to hear from you about spiritual hygiene. And this far, we're talking about grounding last episode. In this episode, we're talking about protection. So what grounding techniques are you using? Did you try something new from last week's episode? And from today, which protection practices feels right for you? What feels right for your routine, your daily routine? And this is something that if you are a parent, this is something that you can even practice with your children. This is something in which you're ingraining these informations to your children as well, to your loved ones at home, to even then start protecting your own surroundings and your own home. This can incorporate into your daily ritual. I love to speak to Kingsley, my son, about protecting our energy, bringing it back from the day. So we jump into bed and we do a nice little cuddle and I settle him down and I allow him to take moments and we actually bring up our hands, we bring up our arms and we say, okay, we're bringing back our energy from the day. We're bringing back all of our power because we deserve it, because it's ours. And we do this little cute thing, and I really should film it, where we're actually waving from above right back into our hearts to know that our power sits with us and that we own it and nobody else does. So please DM me, email me, or comment on my socials. So you can DM me on my socials. You know, I love this feedback and I love this time with you all as well, and to know that these episodes are helping you. I truly love hearing your stories. I really, really do, and seeing just how these practices are supporting you. And even if I've missed out, because I would have missed out on certain protection techniques, then I can only communicate what has helped me and through experience. But hey, I would love for you to actually bring forward any techniques and things that I can share with community, or even if you just want to be like, hey, this is what works for me. I love just hearing from you guys. I really do. And I'm building this community and just this sense of knowing that you don't have to be a spiritual friggin' messiah. You could just be your average Joe self, and this is when we can work together and we can talk and we're all human and we're doing the best that we can with what we've got. All right. So before I go, I want to remind you of the different ways that we can actually work together if you do feel called. This is something in which you don't have to feel called. You can just listen to my podcast. I always say, once a client, always a client. And you are a client, or you are a part of my community because you listen to this podcast, and I thank you so, so, so much. All right, so if you want to do some one-on-one work with me, this is how you can. I offer one-to-one soul guidance mediumship readings. This is my baby. This is what has set the tone to my work, is where we connect with your loved ones in spirit, receiving healing messages, and I work with your loved ones to bring forward empowering conversations, empowering messages to help you along your way, to help you with your path, to help you on your soul's journey. I also offer Soul Spark mentoring sessions for those who are ready to deepen their spiritual path and step into their own power. And for those who prefer something a bit more flexible on the go, I have my Soul Guidance on the go email audio readings, a beautiful way to receive intuitive guidance and insight wherever you are. I'm also so excited to share share with you that starting in August, I'll be opening up my workshops again. These are in person in Brick and Hill. Yes, I would love to also then do some online workshops as well. Absolutely, they're on the cards. There's a chance to gather in community and learn and explore together in a safe, supportive way. I'm super excited. So I'm taking a little break off of my circles and things. And August, yes, I am back, baby. We are back together in person. And as I said, I would love to venture into online as well. So if you would like to learn more about any of these, just feel free to reach out, have a look on my website. I always love connecting with you. So thank you so much for being here today. Until next time, stay grounded, stay protected, and keep shining your beautiful, sparkling light.